This video is part 2 of this PowerPoint lesson. In this section, we are talking about cellular respiration, and today we'll be talking about ATP and the energy and how it does it work. This will be relatively short. This is part 2 of the 3-part series of lectures on cellular respiration PowerPoint. Let's go back to the equation. When we're looking at the equation with cellular respiration, we have the food that the heterotrophs are consuming, the oxygen that's being breathed in, the carbon dioxide which is being breathed out, and it is also producing water and energy. Remember that energy is not going to be in the form of a molecule, so you may see some respiration equations that do not have the ATP as a part of it at all because it is not molecular. It is not something you're going to find on the periodic table, but it is a product of cellular respiration. So when we're looking at the energy, all cells are going to be using ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. When we look at ATP, if anything is asked of you saying, what is ATP versus ADP, you need to think about ATP as energy is loaded and ADP energy is empty. They basically cycle back and forth. Let's look at what's happening with it. Here's our adenine, our ribose, and our triphosphate at the top. We have this whole section here. This is the molecule of ATP. It has 3 phosphate groups in green here. 1, 2, and 3, that's the triphosphate. This molecule will cycle back and forth. It will separate that 3rd phosphate group. So when we're looking at ATP, this is where energy is loaded and ready to be used. All cells will use ATP. The way that this will work is that if there's any kind of molecular change that needs to happen, let's say that something has to be converted from one molecule to something else, or a process has to happen inside a cell, or reception, anything that's going on that's going to have require some energy, ATP is going to lose a phosphate group. So in the top portion it has 3 phosphate groups, and all of a sudden there will be a phosphate that will actually break apart. The breaking of the bond between the 2nd phosphate group and the 3rd phosphate group will release energy. This breakage will release energy, and that will catapult different things to occur in the cell. The ATP will reduce to the diphosphate. The diphosphates always stay the same. They do not change. So this is the molecule that is a solid portion, and the 3rd phosphate is the one that's going to be kicked off and be coming back onto it. When it is ADP, it will have to go back through a different process to be reloaded or recharged. And what that means is that that 3rd phosphate group will have to be connected again. It will basically be absorbed into it. It's kind of like kicking off a magnet and reattaching at a different time. There's a crash course video that you're going to watch. I like one of the things that it talks about ATP is that it says, imagine 3 kids riding on a bus, and they have to share a seat. The 3rd person, the 3rd kid on the bus, that bus seat likes to be kicked off. It's too crowded, so it'd be more comfortable if that 3rd one just kind of went to a different seat if there was something open. So of course they're going to be more comfortable being ADP, so those are going to be locked in place and they will not change, but that 3rd phosphate sometimes has to come over and move back and forth. So that's easy to expel energy or absorb energy as well. This video is pretty good about explaining a little bit more detail with it as well. And we will come back to this in the next video.